What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be featuring a triple fairy team featuring Alola Ninetales with Powder Snow, Azu, and Mawile, kind of the feature Pokemon. If you're triggered that much by seeing an Azumarill being used, you can leave. I won't be upset. That's your choice, but it is a Pokemon that we all know is good. And whenever you use something spicy like Mawile, you kind of have to pair it with some like bulkier, tankier stuff with coverage. So in this case, I'm pairing it with Azu and Ninetales. And I actually didn't think of this team by myself, as we've seen with a lot of teams. I've gotten it from somewhere else. So I lost to a person in Go Battle League, and they posted a video on Facebook, and they tagged me of them beating me in the Go Battle League, which I get a lot of people that tag me and post the videos whenever I lose. And I thought this team looked fun that this guy was using, so I tried out for myself, and it indeed ended up being pretty fun. Basically, Alola Ninetales we know is great against grass. So was Mawile, and then Azumarill. Azumarill, of course, weak to grass, but kind of covers that fire coverage that the other two are weak to. So like an Alolan Marowak lead would be pretty terrible for this team. But for some reason, I haven't seen very many of them at all. But yeah. What else was I going to say about the team? Oh yeah, the person that was running this team was actually running Charm A9. But I thought Powder Snow was a little bit better strictly because of Nidoqueens. Because I see a lot of Nidoqueen leads. And if you're running Charm A9, like you're double weak to Nidoqueen. That's why I'm running Powder Snow instead. Plus, Powder Snow, I think, is just a little bit more skill-based than Charm. Charm is very like hard countery, so you're either going to lose hard or win hard usually. But Powder Snow, just fast move that generate more energy typically, give you like more plays, more versatility. Versus Charm, you're going to like win hard or lose hard, right? So, not that it doesn't take any skill to run like a double Charm team or a double Steel team. I run double Steel sometimes, but a lot of people are running like Medicham, G-Fisk, Bastiodon, or Venusaur, G-Fisk, Bastiodon, and it's just like I feel like there's when you run a team like that, like double Charm or like G-Fisk, Bastiodon, and you lure out the fighter with G-Fisk and then you close with Bastiodon, it's almost like you win or you lose based off team comp, and I feel like usually with those teams there's little plays to be made. It's like either you win on team comp or you lose on team comp, So that's why I like charge move oriented teams with energy charging fast moves, if that makes sense. So yeah. And I don't mean to like throw shots at anyone that runs like the grass hole line with Razor Leaf or Smackdown. Anyway, I just totally went on a tangent. I wasn't planning to talk about this during the video, but this is what happens sometimes. And now, as I'm finally ready to start shoutcasting the battles, we're in an Azumir match, but we're in a pretty good position in this battle because we're up a shield, and we already know what he has in back. So I know I can take a player. If I will probably have to shield eventually. He tried to catch with the Deoxys. I will commit a shield here. I also know I have energy on my Ninetales, right? A little bit, so I'm in a pretty good position. I undercharge the Hydro Pump just to give myself a little bit of energy head start. So I have to force him to throw here. And I should be all good to close this one out. Ninetales comes in. A few Powder Snows off the Dazzling Gleam. If you're wondering why I didn't just throw the Dazzling Gleam right away, I just made sure my timing was right there. Because I knew his energy. So I knew I didn't have to throw, and in case the Dazzling Gleam didn't KO right, I just want to make sure my timing is right to not allow him a free bubble. And straight to the next one. A9 versus Azu. So not the best matchup for A9, since Azu resists the Powder Snows, and we can only really threaten it with Gleam. But I believe A9 wins the Zero Shield here, so you can guarantee that you're either going to at least get a shield or win the matchup. I decided to catch, which is kind of unnecessary. But he's not switching, which is pretty good for me. I'm going to tank both of these because I know Azu can. Azu's a bulky beast, as we all know. The mirror match. I think he snuck in an invisible bubble there. We're just playing this out. Each of us are playing rough. Unfortunately, because he snuck in that bubble, he gets the one more. But that's alright. I'm still not going to shield. In comes Sableye. Unfortunately, I just barely get to this play rough. And now I'm going to aggressive swap into my own A9 because he aggressive swapped, so he's switch locked. I thought about going for the Gleam here, but I thought it was a little risky. So I go Weather Ball. He gets off a move. I do shield, and it's only a foul play, unfortunately. I'm not going to bother over farming here. I'm just going to throw right away to threaten that last shield. He doesn't shield, and I'm able to Powder Snow down, which is nice. We have to be cognizant of the fact that he could try and catch with Az eventually. So yeah, he was a little off on his counting, but I don't blame him. That's like a tough one to count. I bait here because I figure he kind of has to shield. He has to respect the Gleam. And once I got the shield, I decided I'll just switch in Mawile. I let this go right here. It is just an Ice Punch that's resisted, won't do that much. And just to play it safe, I shield here. It actually was a Psychic, so that might have been pretty close to KOing. And Mawile gets to the play rough eventually. Sometimes I run Iron Head. Sometimes I run play rough. Mawile has a lot of good movesets, which is good for changing things around sometimes, like in other formats. Powder Snow A9 versus Azu. Lots of Azus today, it seems. Myself included, I know. I can never run Azu for more than a few sets, otherwise I just feel guilty. After running Azu a few times, I'm like, alright, now I gotta run some Shadow Zapdos, you know? Now I gotta run some Shiny Shadow Stantler. Just kidding. I very rarely run Stantler. So I go for the play rough here. If my opponent was a Savage, he could like call this since I went right to play rough and not like right to Ice Beam. He gets a huge farm. This is not looking good in the slightest. But I was one off the Weather Ball, so I figured I'd get this off and then maybe try and switch. But I can't switch yet. And do I actually take this? I take this. Yikes. Risky. In comes Mawile. Oh, man. This is tough. Because I could get one shot here. But it's kind of a pretty obvious bait. Probably should have called the bait. He comes in Azu. And I'm just like, oh, man. This sucks. Now I'm debuffed. I think he still has a whole nother Pokemon. Another move coming through. It's going to put me low. And at this point, after I had taken that move, like, alright, bait time. Maybe that's the only win con. Because I'm like, oh wait, he doesn't have a shield. What am I doing? I'm so confused. I think I was thinking because, I think my thought process was because he still had an entire Pokemon, right, and back. That was so weird. I was powering up punching a shieldless Azu. I think my thought process, because he still had an entire fully healthy Pokemon and back, I thought my only win con would be to, like, farm it down and, like, ramp up my attack. Because if I just play rough at Azu and he's got an entire Pokemon, like, what on earth could my Mawile possibly be? It would have had to be, like, a Ferrothorn or something to have a chance. But I guess I should have at least play rough to give myself a chance, you know? But I think the Nidoqueen had energy too, right? So, whatever. We get returned here by the Sableye. Sableye also has been very popular lately. I see a lot of them. In comes the Mud Boy, Stunfisk. Discharge. Azu's like, thank you very much. I'll take that. That woke me up. I just go for a Hydro Pump here because he's going to outpace me, so I'm probably only going to get to one move anyway. He switches, and I'm like, all right, GG's. because I've got a Mawile to answer this thing, and I've still got 2 shields. And the Ninetales in back. And Ninetales is a pretty comfortable matchup against Unovan Stunfisk, because it deals super effective damage and it only takes neutral damage. Ninetales versus another Unovan Stunfisk. Thank you very much. In comes Greedent. And I was like, huh, what do I do here? I wasn't sure what my better response was at first. Eventually I come in here with Mawile because I resist everything here. So I figure I could probably take 3 body slams. And I save all that energy on Ninetales. And Azu and A9 cover each other's weaknesses pretty well, so keeping them together kind of made sense. I try and CMP here on the Mud Bomb to not allow him to overfarm energy. And I do successfully CMP him. That's like a good strategy. You guys should, that's a good strategy, like a good tip I have. Try to CMP people when you can, if you know you win CMP. That way you're not giving them any extra overfarm. Throwing another Weather Ball here. Gets rid of the Fisk. What's going to come in? The green comes back in. I know I don't have to shield this Body Slam Crunch. I can take either. He does get to another. Wow, very spammy. So I do shield just because I have so much energy. I don't want all this energy to go to waste. And there's an Obama Snow in back. And this is actually kind of scary. But fortunately, I preserved all this energy on A9. So I'm actually going to get both shields here. And then I got to sub in Azu. Swap in Azu. Otherwise, I was going to get farmed down. I figure he's much less likely to bait on this first one. So I shield this first one. And fortunately for me, it was correct shield. It was an energy ball. Another one comes in. Hits hard, but Azu's such a tank. Doesn't quite KO. Going for play rough here. This is where you miss Ice Beam a little bit, just to get there a little faster. But I know that if it was energy dry and I was 3 bubbles away, it's 9 turns versus 5 Powder Snows or 10 turns for Weather Ball. So we're able to just barely take out the Obama Snow. Literally 1 turn difference ends up being the difference in that game since he had Obama Snow in back. Really great game there. Next one, Diggersby. Another good lead for this team. In comes Skarm. And here's Mawile shining. Going to work. And we're just going to go straight for a power punch. No reason in like building up to a big move here. Because all of Mawile's big moves don't really threaten Skarm anyway. Iron Head, play rough. He sky attacks me, which kind of surprised me. I feel like you'd just go straight for Brave Bird here because he doesn't get to another move anyway. Diggersby coming back in. And I'm actually able to get to a play rough here, which is really nice. I don't expect him to shield. And look how much damage that does. And it's CMP. This game going like about as perfectly as it could possibly go right now. We've taken out a huge chunk of his Diggersby. I was expecting the catch, and then it's an Azu back. So I go for a Weather Ball bait here. I feel like you gotta shield something eventually, right? So I might get a shield. I do get the shields, and I still have residual energy on my Ninetales. And then we got the Azu mirror match, which go grab a drink quick snack, because we've got 1 battle after this. But yeah, we're in a pretty favorable position here. He may try and catch it at some point, but it doesn't really matter because A9 is still really healthy and has all that energy. So yeah, this team worked. I only ran it for like 2 or 3 sets, but it worked pretty well for me. As you see here, it got me a lot of favorable alignments. I Hydro Pumped the Diggersby because I wasn't sure if Play Rough KO'd. And I just forced the opposing Azu Excuse me. To throw its energy here. Getting it low. The opponent is hanging in there. They are not giving up. They're trying to locate the win con after getting pretty hard countered. And I just go for a weather ball here. This is weather ball range, so no point in going for the gleam. And there we go. Take out the Azu. Finally, the opponent conceded. They didn't shield that last one. And we've got one more game, I believe, with this squad. Getting a nice reward there, the new legendary. And amazing lead. Hopefully we don't screw this up. In comes Azu. So we don't have an obvious answer for Azu. And this is the type of game, right, where... Well, actually, my entire team kind of beats Altaria. So I don't mind if I lose this secondary matchup. I would like to... But, you know... I would like to win this secondary matchup if I can, because A9 just has such a dominant matchup against Altaria. I'd like to keep it there, but Mawile can also put in work against Altaria because it resists everything, and it triple resists the Dragon Breaths. So I'd like to win switch here, but honestly, I don't think it's worth expending a shield. I think I'd rather be up a shield. Because if I'm up a shield, Mawile can probably sweep most things. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to let Azumarill go down. He swaps into Medi, and this is great. Because now I've got A9 versus Medi. He threw this really quickly, so I knew it was just a power-up punch. Takes 6 counters to get to Ice Punch, 5 for power-up punch. I build up to Gleam, go for Weather Ball. I get the shield, which is huge. Now... I know I can commit to a Gleam here, get rid of this, and then just save Mawile for the Altaria. So I do have to... I had to shield the Power Punch there, even though I knew it was a Power Punch, just because I needed to get to this Gleam. And then I switch. Yeah, might as well shield here, because if in case it's a Hydro Pump, like, Azu has a move that can threaten us, whereas... Altaria doesn't really have any moves that can threaten us. And you just see how little these Dragon Breaths do. They probably do 1 damage since they're triple resisted. Play Rough hits hard. Going for a big fire-fang down. And yeah, nothing's going to be able to one-shot us here. We get Moon Blasted. Does like less than half. And actually like kind of close. Because the Azu still had like a tiny bit of health. But we had that one wrapped up. And the triple fairy team putting in some work. Thank you guys for watching. Just a unique team. If you guys are still pushing for Legend, good luck. I hope you can reach it. You've got 2 days left to do it. So for those of you that are still trying to get there, and if you're within 100, 200, maybe even 300 points, it's still possible. But if you don't get to Legend, remember, don't worry about it. It's about taking it one step at a time, like trying to improve each season. If your record is... If your all-time best ELO is like 2,200, maybe try and just beat that this season. Maybe try and improve 100 points, 150 points if you can, or more. And then next season, like try and hit Veteran. Then the next season after that, try and hit Expert, and then go for Legend. But don't put too much pressure on yourself to hit Legend. Go Battle League can be tough. There's a lot to learn. And although there's a fair share of luck that is involved, and I get the comments from time to time saying, like, it's all luck, it doesn't matter, whatever I do, I get hard countered, you know. I'm sure, like, I get hard countered some days too, but there's a reason why, like, there are specific people that are consistently at the top of the leaderboard, because, like, it's about skill and matchups, and there's, like, a bit of a skill cap in this game. Like, when you get to the top players, like, there's a very small margin that separates all the top players, you know. It's like very hard to separate them, but overall, anyway, I've gone on like these random tangents this video, kind of weird, but I hope you guys enjoyed the content. A fun triple fairy team you could try. Triple fairy, no charm, because we don't like charm. It's not fun. all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.